Let's talk about how to make reading stick, how to make it stay. Until it's permanent, reading ability seems to come and go, or it doesn't come at all. Then what? Let's take a look at what's not working. We're going to back up, observe, reassess, and change tracks. Teaching reading has to work really well for two things: your learner's personality, learning style, learning difficulties, the family situation, etc. And secondly, the brain. That's all, really, just those two things. Now let's take a look at the subset of those two creatures, your learner and your learner's brain. First, let's look at your learner's ability to take in the information you're trying to teach her. What is her learning style? What are her learning limits? What are her difficulties? What shuts her down? What fires her jets? Does she absolutely hate the materials you're putting in front of her? When does brain fatigue kick in? 10 minutes after you've started? 20 minutes? Now there's a shortcut to answering all of these questions, and it's very simple. The next time you sit to teach her reading, record the session. Now, you've got to cover the device that you're recording on, whether it's your tablet, your iPhone, your computer. If she sees herself in the device, you're toast. So you have to cover that. You also want to place it high enough on the table or wherever you're taping from so that you can see yourself, the child, and everything that's on the table. Later, when you're alone and can focus, watch that video. Become the observer. Take notes. Look at where her eyes are. I can't say this enough. Watch her eyes. Watch her eyes. Where are her eyes? Are they looking at the materials? If not, why not? Watch her body language. You can tell when she's starting to shut down or when she's engaged, right? Now, watching this video will give you more information than you can imagine. It's a goldmine of information. When you're teaching, you can't be in observing mode. Not unless you're adept at being in two places at once. So what you're doing now when you're watching this video is you are the observer. You're studying what's going on. With the information you're going to get from observing your teaching and her reactions, you can go back to the drawing board and reassess and change your methods and materials. Now let's talk about the brain. There are two rules. Brain rule number 1. Frequency is king. Teach him twice a day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes twice a day. Teach him when he's captive in the morning at his breakfast bowl. Teach him when he's in the tub in the evening. It doesn't matter when, as long as you get that time in. Anyone can find 5 minutes twice a day in a 24-hour period. One mom I taught started the custom of teaching her son, who was 4 years old, his flashcards in bed in the early morning, and her son couldn't wait to run to her bed in the morning and read his flashcards. Now, obviously, that isn't the only time of day that she's teaching him, but he is learning to read, and he's 4 years old. Another mom kept his current flashcards in the car, and when she'd drive him to school in the morning, they would sit in the parking lot and go through his cards. He loved it, and it became a favorite ritual. Brain rule number 2. Use the fast flash technique for flashing cards to teach whole word reading. I've talked about this in other YouTube videos, and you can read my book again to refresh your memory. But what we do is flash the cards. 1 per second is kind of slow. 2 per second if you're really good at it. It just takes practice. Fast flash is a well-researched and decades-long practice of engaging the right hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere needs speed to engage retention. So that's the basis of the fast flash method. It has everything to do with the brain. So practice and get fast at it. Everything I've told you in this video really reflects, in a nutshell, the basis of my reading method and program. We go in through the heart and teach to the brain. So follow the plan and back up, observe, reassess, and change tracks. The ultimate reward is orthographic reading, skilled, automatic reading. But don't take this project out of the oven before it's finished baking. We patiently teach day after day until this souffle is fall-proof, until it can stand on its own, until your learners can read on their own. Not to worry, you can do this.